Lean beef is a hot bird. That's what I said. Okay, let's try this again.
Today, we will be stretching and talking about things I wish that I knew when I first started working out. I didn't learn a lot of these things till recently, though, and I've been working out for a hot minute, so... Okay. I'm also going to be stretching, but I'm not really going to be explaining it because that's not the main point of this video. Also, I do have a little bit...
Well, then why she stretch? She's just gonna stretch, just to like show off her. Wait, is that like gooner bait? Is she gooner bait maxing with her stretching? She's a hot bird. Huh. Interesting.
Bitty baby cold. So if I sound funnier than usual, that's why. Please excuse that. So first thing I wish I knew when I was starting out is that you need to eat. You need to eat food. And starting off strong was something that seemed self-explanatory, but it really was not to me. I thought that I was built different. Bruh. I wasn't built different. I wasn't built that different, that's for sure. So a little history about me is before I started going to the gym, I was a super...
Why is she stretching while she's talking about this shit, dude? For real. I think she is gooner baiting, seems to me.
competitive athlete. I did gymnastics. The trainings usually lasted 3.5, 4 hours, 5 days a week. So it was pretty intense. I understood that when you're more active, you burn more calories. What I didn't understand was even if you do nothing all day but sit in a chair, you still need calories. So when I quit gymnastics, first of all, I already felt really bad about myself. I felt like a failure in life. I felt like I didn't deserve good things.
Yeah, so I'm gonna probably skip ahead, but yeah, you should probably eat. Yeah, ladies, you gotta eat. If you don't eat, you'll lose all of your muscles. If you starve max, you will, and you don't exercise max, you won't have glute max or glute max. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I agree with that statement. And I agree with the statement of people feeling out of place. I feel like that's pretty common in school when you are young. You know, it's pretty common.
And I thought, hey, I'm not active anymore. I don't really do anything but just exist, which means I don't need food because I'm not expending energy. That is not true. Everybody might not struggle with this, but I think some people probably relate in some way that they feel they only need or deserve food when they've done exercise, which isn't true. You need food just for your heart to beat and your skin to regenerate.
Yeah, eating just regular meals is pretty standard. Just eat a calorie deficit if you want to get, lose fat. Um, it's not rocket science. I talk about it a lot. Calories in, calories out, and you get lean, right? Same thing for women. But yeah, ladies, you just got to eat. Otherwise, you'll hit that Ozempic body. And that's what nobody wants. Nobody wants an Ozempic body, I don't think. So, guys, just eat right. And then, like I say, step on the scale every morning. If you want to weigh less, just step on the scale. You see a number. Eat a little less than you did today. If it goes down, eat the same. Keeps going down. See, that's the modality. Smarter, not harder. Not low IQ maximum. We want to be high IQ maximum, right?
Generate in your hair to grow. So that's called a BMR. You can find that online. If you're cutting, don't go below that. Don't do these freaking 1,200 calorie diets. That's not good for anybody except for a little baby. So that's something I wish I knew. Next thing I wish I knew is you don't have to change your workout routine like every single week. It doesn't need to be radically different. In fact, it probably shouldn't be radically different.
I actually agree with this too. My workout routine's been the same for about 2 years, and see what you see. Yeah, I agree. No need to get crazy and start switching up your routine and doing all this different types of crazy shit. Just to fucking try to make the body different. You don't need it. You don't need this to. You don't need to switch up your routine all the time. Like I said, same routine, 2 years. You just need to hypertrophy your muscles. That's all. And if they don't seem to be hypertrophying, then just add some more weight. That's it. Easy.
Different depending on what your goals are. You should be doing the same or similar exercises pretty consistently, incorporating progressive overload in order to improve. Because if you're always switching it up super radically every single week, your body is not going to have the opportunity to adapt. So unless you're
Yeah, I basically said that. You just need to hypertrophy the muscles. That's all. Easy.
main goal is just to try every single exercise in the world, don't worry about it, okay? Next thing I wish that I had realized sooner was full.
The stretching, though, I mean, this has to be Gooner bait. Has to be. She is Gooner baiting. I mean, she's just like stretching. I mean, there's just no. Should I do that? Should I start stretching? Do some Ashtanga yoga while I'm breaking down videos? Some of y'all might like that. Maybe the game maxers. I love you, game maxers. As long as you're based. Come on now.
Body workouts for 2.5 hours, 6 days a week isn't always the best. In fact, for most people, it's probably not the best. If you really enjoy doing full body workouts like that, I'm definitely not gonna tell you to stop if that's something you enjoy, but it might be making it more difficult for you to reach your goals, depending on what your goals are. It made it more difficult for me. There's just not enough rest time in between the days, not enough time for your body to recuperate and kind of get better and grow. Now I like a push-pull leg split with legs twice a week. You don't have to do that. You could do a bro split. You could do push-pull legs. You could do something else. There's not any one best split. So that's also something I wish I knew. That one workout is not insanely better than the other. There's no reason you should constantly be looking for the most optimal workout.
Yeah, the most optimal workout is the one you can do for years and years and years. I mean, I've talked about this. You just have to do something that you love. Get the muscles hypertrophied, then get into a deficit or a surplus, depending on what you're trying to do. She's right. You don't need to optimize. All these science-based lifters are fucking gay maxers. Respect to the gay maxers that are based. That I'm kidding. But yeah, no, for sure. I want to skip ahead. I mean, seriously. It's really the nutrition that's the biggest thing.
Hours every day or every time you work out in order to see results. In fact, that might be too much for some people. A lot of workouts can be squished, depending on what kind of workout you're doing, okay? If you're powerlifting, those do rely more on longer rest times in general, so you'll probably have a longer workout in general. But for like other workouts where you can even progressive overload with just shortening the rest time, you don't have to be at the gym for 2 hours, 3 hours.
I agree. I weight lift for 20 to 30 minutes and I do cardio for 40. 4 to 5 times a week. And that gets you what you see here, along with eating right in a caloric deficit. Yep, these are good tips for beginners, for sure. Let's hear her diet stuff.
All right. Something else I wish that I had learned sooner, and honestly, this is one that I already knew. Like, a lot of these things I really did know in my heart of hearts, but I just didn't want to accept it, okay? If you stay too lean for too long, you are not going to be having a good time, okay? You're gonna be having a bummer of a time. In general, women and people taking certain hormones, and especially people on birth control, like hormonal birth control, it can cause weight gain and it can just make it harder to lose weight. You might have less energy as well, so you might not even have the energy to work out. That's just an unfortunate side effect. There's a lot of negative side effects to hormonal birth control, but
I mean, I sort of agree and agree. Um, Here's what I mean. So obviously there's truth to hormones and how they affect your weight. But again, the biggest thing is you should find a place that you're comfortable with in terms of your leanness and then try to maintain or gain. So you get to a place where your body feels good, that you like what you see in the mirror, and then slowly cut away from there. So yeah, I mean, like hormones, I'm sure play a role in it, but calories in versus calories out, really.
I'm not your doctor. I'm not about to talk about that. Anyway, accepted is how you train will affect the way your physique looks. And I know that sounds self-explanatory, but let me explain myself. So, I really like lifting heavy, and I really like...
This is obvious gooner bait. Duh. I mean, why she's doing these split stretches? She's like, don't mind my stretching. I'm just here to stretch and talk about things. It's gooner bait. I mean, she's just like stretching, putting her ass in the frame, talking about this. Um, yeah, I mean, like, if you hypertrophy your legs and you don't hypertrophy your chest, over time, your chest will look small, your legs will look big, and vice versa. That's why you get that trope of like dudes with big chested arms having small legs, you know, because all they do is their upper body. So, yeah, where you hypertrophy your muscles is where they will grow or stay. Grow if you're in a caloric surplus, stay if you're in a deficit. So I agree with that statement. But ultimately, you have to do that over time. I don't think people even are at the gym long enough for that shit to even happen, which is why I say find some exercises that you love. Do that. You don't have to weight lift. You know, you could do boxing, you could do MMA, you could do swimming. There's a whole bunch of different things you could do to hypertrophy your muscles and do all body type of exercises. I mean, there's a lot of people who just do all body, all body workouts, and they look great. Idea is just to do it for a while, long time. Can you do it for like 10, 20 years?
Working out in a hypertrophy.
And she's just gooner baiting to the max. She's gooner bait max. It's gooner bait max. Lean beef patty, the gooner bait max. That'll be the title.
Sort of way, but especially when I first started working out, I just wanted to be skinny. I really didn't care about... Lastly, you don't have to be perfect all the time, okay? I feel like I missed out on a lot, especially when I was younger, and I was just too stressed, okay? So it's good to give yourself a little break. And it's okay to miss a workout every now and then. And it's okay to go out and eat and not track your food.
Again, agreed with the lean beef patty. I have a minimum 4 days a week that I go to the gym. So, I can miss 3 days and I still feel like I won. And that's because I have a routine that I love. And so I do 4 days. It's the minimum. If I end up with 5, awesome. You know what I mean? If you set up a program that is hard for you to do, you're going to feel like shit all the time. But if you set up a program that you can actually do, and then maybe have like a bonus one, if you miss out on a day, you missed your bonus and you can hit the minimum. You feel great. So yeah, I agree. You don't have to, one workout won't fuck everything up, but if you continue to let that slide, that's when you start getting into routines and habits that lower your standard. So why not just make the standards something that you can hit every week and then overload from there? That's how I did it. That's how I did it.
I don't want anyone to tell me like, Patty, that just lacks discipline. Like, there's a balance, okay? You don't have to take my advice by any means, but this is just something I wish that I had done earlier in my fitness journey. I also learned this fairly recently, I think like in 2020 or 2021, because that's when gyms closed in my area. So I wasn't really able to obsess about the gym. You can learn. I don't think anybody out there has it all figured out. So you don't have to feel like you have it all figured out either. Just give yourself a break every now and then. Don't be so hard on yourself.
I disagree with her. I have it figured out. Ask me, I'll help you. I can high IQ max you. I also agree with most of her points, and she is a Goonerbait maxer. I found that out. Well, that was fun. Be right back. I enjoyed that. It was fun. It was cool. BRB.